From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.
Good day. This is Dateline Malacañang. Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. has relieved Police General Nicolas Torre III from his duties as Philippine National Police or PNP Chief. In a memo dated August 25th and signed by Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin, the President relieved Torre from his post effective immediately. It added that Torre has been directed to ensure proper turnover of all matters, documents, and information related to his office. Malacañang has yet to provide further details. Torre assumed command from General Romel Francisco Marbil on June 2nd this year. Torre is known for successfully leading high-profile cases as chief of the Criminal Investigation and Detection Group, including the arrest of former President Rodrigo Duterte and Kingdom of Jesus Christ pastor Apollo Quimoloy. He is the first alumnus of the Philippine National Police Academy to lead the police force belonging to the Tagapagpatupad class of 1993.
Dateline Malacañang.
Highlighting the crucial role of global economic partnerships in strengthening resilience, digital leadership, and inclusive growth in the Philippines, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. will grace the opening of the Manila Tech Summit 2025 at Bonifacio Global City in Taguig City on Tuesday, August 26. As it marks its fifth year, the Manila Tech Summit is making a bold push to position the country as a key player in the global fintech ecosystem, bringing together more than 1,300 delegates from over 300 organizations. Organized by FinTechAlliance.ph, the country's largest digital industry association, representing over 130 companies that account for more than 95% of digital retail transactions. This year's summit carries the theme, Forging a New Global Order, Risks and Opportunities Redefined, reflecting urgent global realities such as geopolitical shifts, technological disruption, the climate crisis, and the rise of the green economy. Participants are set to explore how fintech can thrive amid these challenges while promoting financial inclusion, multilateral cooperation, and sustainable growth.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Monday welcomed participants from across the region to the WorldSkills Association of Southeast Asian Nations or ASEAN Manila 2025. In his speech during the opening ceremony of the international competition being held at the Marriott Grand Ballroom in Pasay City, President Marcos urged Filipinos to extend the nation's welcome and hospitality to the foreign delegates, mostly from ASEAN member countries. As the biggest competition to date, WorldSkills ASEAN Manila 2025 gathers around 259 skilled youths from across the region to compete in 32 skill areas. President Marcos also welcomed Timor-Leste, which is taking part in the competition for the first time. The chief executive invited the delegates and guests to experience the beauty of the Philippines. The Philippines is hosting the World Skills ASEAN Manila 2025 from August 25 to 30. Now in its 14th year, the biennial competition is considered the largest showcase of professional and technical skills in the ASEAN region.
It is with great pride and joy that I welcome you all here to Manila. To my fellow Filipinos, let us extend to our visitors the hospitality that we are known for, the same warmth that we shared nearly 3 decades ago when the Philippines first hosted the World Skills ASEAN in 1996. Almost 30 years on, this competition has grown, and today we witness significant milestones. With 259 contestants competing in 32 skill areas across 6 major sectors, this is the largest World Skills ASEAN competition to date. We are also honored to welcome Timor-Leste as they take part for the very first time in this competition. Their participation reminds us that inclusivity makes ASEAN stronger and brings our nations closer together. Ladies and gentlemen, we often say skills are the new global currency. They are the foundation of innovation and the engine of industry. Skills are more valuable than oil, more enduring than gold, more transformative than any technology. In a heavily interconnected and changing world, true success depends on the skills, the knowledge, and the creativity of our people. And this is why we hold events such as this, to invest in our people, nurture their talents, and give them opportunities to further grow. As a gateway for learning, collaboration, and cultural exchange, the World Skills ASEAN serves as a stage where young people push their limits, competing not only for medals, but for the pride of their nations. To all our delegates and guests, I invite you to experience the beauty of the Philippines. Go a little bit beyond the competition halls. Have a taste of our food, discover the richness of our culture, and feel the warmth of the Filipino people. Because here, you are home.
That was Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Dateline Malacañang.
Malacañang on Monday evening announced the suspension of classes in all levels, both public and private, as well as work in government offices in the National Capital Region or NCR and 19 provinces on Tuesday due to inclement weather. The suspension covers Metro Manila, Aurora, Bulacan, Pampanga, Nueva Ecija, Cavite, Batangas, Laguna, Rizal, Quezon, Camarines Norte, Camarines Sur, Albay, Sorsogon, Catanduanes, Masbate, Northern Samar, Eastern Samar, Leyte, and Southern Leyte. The Presidential Communications Office, or PCO, urged the public to remain vigilant, avoid dangerous areas, and monitor official government advisories as heavy rains and possible flooding are expected based on the Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical, and Astronomical Services Administration, or PAG-ASA forecast. In Memorandum Circular number 94-A, Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin said agencies involved in the delivery of basic and health services, preparedness, response to disasters and calamities, and or the performance of other vital services are hereby directed to continue their operations and render the necessary services. He said localized cancellation or suspension of classes and work in government offices in other areas may still be implemented by their local chief executives. The Department of the Interior and Local Government, or DILG, authorized to make announcements on behalf of the Cabinet and the Palace, posted a similar advisory on its Facebook page. The Senate later announced that work is suspended Tuesday in line with Malacañang's order. Only essential personnel are required to report to prepare the session hall for the Commission on Appointments meeting. All other officials and employees need not report for work.
Dateline Malacañang.
Also on Monday, Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. turned the National Heroes Day commemoration into a rallying call against corruption, declaring that anomalies and abuse of power are the modern-day threats that steal the health, dreams, and future of the next generations of Filipinos. In his speech at the Libingan ng mga Bayani, the president said they do not only steal money but also the health, dreams, and future of the next generations of Filipinos. The president said honoring the sacrifices of the nation's heroes requires confronting challenges with the same courage they once showed. President Marcos warned that letting corruption persist is a betrayal not only of past generations who fought for independence, but also of today's youth whose future is at stake. The chief executive urged Filipinos not to tolerate small deceits, warning that unchecked lies and abuses erode society bit by bit until the damage becomes irreversible.
Hindi lang pagpapalakas ng ating depensa ang kailangan natin tutukan upang maalagaan ating kalayaan. Kailangan din natin labanan ang banta ng katiwalian at pang-aabuso sa kapangyarihan ng ating lipunan. Dahil hindi lamang salapi ang kanilang ninanakaw, kundi pati ang kalusugan, pangarap at kinabukasan ng mga susunod na henerasyon na Pilipino. Kaya't hindi natin dapat ipagwalang bahala ang maliliit na panlilinlang sapagkat kung paulit-ulit ito'y pinapalampas natin, unti-unti nitong sinisira ang ating lipunan nang hindi natin namamalayan. Bilang Pilipino, may pananagutan tayo sa ating bansa na maging mas mapanuri sa mga mali, na isiwalat ang panloloko at panindigan ang alam nating tama kahit hindi ito madali. Ito rin ay pagkakataon upang gisingin ang kamalayan ng kabataan tungkol sa kanilang tungkulin sa bayan. Gabayan natin sila upang maging mas mapanuri sila sa mga suliranin sa ating lipunan. Kung hindi natin maihahanda ang kabataan sa pagtatanggol sa ating kalayaan, ipinagkakanulo natin hindi lamang ang sakripisyo ng ating mga bayani, kundi pati na rin ang kinabukasan ng ating bansa. At sa hangaring ito ang pangako ng inyong pamahalaan. Hindi namin kayo iiwan. Pananagutin namin ang lahat ng sangkot sa anomalya at katiwalian. Ilalabas natin ang buo at pawang katotohanan at titiyakin nating hindi na mauulit ang kawalan ng respeto at malasakit sa taong bayan.
Came on the heels of his public tirades against questionable flood control projects in the provinces of Bulacan and Benguet along Kenan Road, where he said some newly built structures worsened flooding instead of erasing it, while others turned out to be ghost projects. President Marcos repeatedly warned contractors and officials that there would be accountability. The president's campaign was formalized with the launch of the Sumbong sa Pangulo website on August 11th, a citizen reporting platform aimed at flagging corruption-tainted infrastructure. Since then, he has conducted inspections of multi-million peso projects across Luzon.
Dateline Malacañang.
Still on Monday, Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. congratulated Filipina tennis sensation Alex Ayala following her historic victory at the U.S. Open, calling her a source of pride and inspiration for the entire nation. In a Facebook post, the president said Ayala is just getting started, adding that the whole Philippines is with her each time she plays. Ayala defeated world number 14 Clara Tauson of Denmark in an epic first-round battle in the 2025 US Open 6-3, 2-6, and 7-6 early Monday, becoming the first Filipino to win a match at a Grand Slam singles tournament in the Open era. Ayala's win adds to her growing list of international achievements, further cementing her status as one of the country's brightest young sports icons. The 20-year-old Ayala will next face the winner of the match between Cristina Buxa of Spain and American qualifier Claire Liu. Ayala has yet to face Liu but has already defeated Buxa once when they played against each other in 2021.
Dateline Malacañang.
In other news, senators on Monday said the newly enacted Konektadong Pinoy Act would help ease the struggles of Filipino families, students, overseas workers, and small businesses by ensuring cheaper, faster, and more reliable internet service nationwide. Senate President Francis Escudero described the law, also known as the Open Access in Data Transmission Act, as a giant step toward bridging the digital divide in far-flung areas. Escudero said it is about time to empower Filipinos through greater access to information and connectivity. The law makes it easier for smaller players to enter the industry without the need for legislative franchises, while allowing infrastructure sharing to hasten the rollout of internet services across the country. Escudero said this would bring down prices and provide more choices for consumers. Senator Amy Marcos, the principal author of the measure, said the new law would end the long-standing woes of slow and costly internet. The senator said no student will be left behind class, no overseas Filipino worker or OFW call will be cut, and no business will be left behind just because of poor internet. She noted that the measure also provides special discounts for students and guarantees consumer rights protection, including the prompt resolution of service complaints. Senator Alan Peter Cayetano, who sponsored the law as chair of the Senate Committee on Science and Technology, stressed the importance of aligning its implementation with other ICT policies such as the E-Governance Act and the Digital Highway Master Plan. The Konektadong Pinoy Act lapsed into law on August 23rd. It mandates priority installation of infrastructure near schools, provides student discounts, and sets minimum service standards to improve internet connectivity nationwide.
Dateline Malacañang.
And finally, another batch of 19 distressed overseas Filipino workers or OFWs, including one child from Jeddah, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia or KSA, have safely returned home on Monday evening via flight SV870. Department of Migrant Workers or DMW Assistant Secretary Maria Regina Galias and DMW National Capital Region Regional Director Falcone Millar, along with the teams of DMW and Overseas Workers Welfare Administration or OWA, welcomed the repatriates who were provided with immediate assistance and whole of government support as directed by President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. They received financial and transportation assistance from the DMW and OWA and initial checkup by Manila International Airport or MIA Medical upon arrival. 12 of the 19 repatriates are distressed OFWs staying in the Bahay Kalinga shelters in Jeddah who experienced unfortunate situation on their overseas employment and have requested assistance to return home back with their families. Meanwhile, the Bureau of Immigration or BI reported the arrival of 23 Filipinos who were repatriated after being rescued from scam hubs in Cambodia. According to the BI's Immigration Protection and Border Enforcement Section, or IPROBS, the repatriates arrived on August 23rd at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport, or NAIA Terminal 3, on board a Philippine Airlines flight from Phnom Penh. The victims, composed of 9 males and 14 females, were rescued with the assistance of the Philippine Embassy in Cambodia after being forced to work in online scam hubs. They were assisted by the NAIA Task Force Against Trafficking and the Department of Migrant Workers or DMW upon arrival. The Filipinos recounted in a statement how they were recruited through social media with promises of employment as customer service representatives and a monthly salary of $1,500. However, they said they only received around $300 and were forced to work as love scammers in catfishing syndicates targeting male Europeans. They added they were subjected to punishments such as squatting exercises and were verbally and physically abused when they failed to meet their quotas. All of the victims departed the country as tourists. One even left with his entire family, parents, sibling, aunt, and uncle for a supposed 5-day holiday in Bangkok, only to proceed to Cambodia to work in the scam hub. Several victims also revealed that they were later sold to other companies, further likening their ordeal to modern-day slavery. Meanwhile, the IPROBS also reported the interception of 2 more victims on August 24th, who attempted to board an Air Asia flight to Thailand. The 2 initially claimed to be tourists on vacation, but later admitted they had been promised jobs as encoders abroad. The BI believes they were recruited by the same syndicate. They have been turned over to the Interagency Council Against Trafficking, or IACAT, for assistance. In similar cases, victims were promised jobs in Thailand but were later forcibly diverted to Cambodia, Myanmar, or Laos. BI Commissioner Joel Anthony Viado warned aspiring overseas workers against illegal recruitment schemes, saying that traffickers continue to exploit social media and messaging apps to lure victims. The BI said at least 2 recruiters are being investigated by the IACAT for facilitating the departure of the victims. He said they are also investigating whether certain personnel are in connivance with said recruiters.
Dateline Malacañang.
Before we conclude our program, Radyo Pilipinas World Service of the Presidential Broadcast Service is live on audio streaming. Just download Evox PBS Receiver on your Google Play Store or the App Store from your Apple phone. You can also visit our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Just type in and search for Radyo Pilipinas World Service. Kindly subscribe, like, and share our post as well. And that concludes this edition of Dateline Malacañang. For Radyo Pilipinas World Service, this is Leo Magpayo. Good day and stay safe.
From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.